Howdy, howdy, and welcome to another trash take. I just got wind. Apparently, there was some massive raid in like Chicago on some building where the federal agents were like rappelling off a helicopter, and there was like 300 agents on ground arresting an entire building infested with Trinidad Aragua gang members and other criminal illegal aliens. And I think the total count now is they arrested 30 individuals, but apparently the news was there and they filmed the entire fucking thing. Just like when James Comey broke down Roger Stone's door at 6 a.m. to arrest him with the news there. It looks like ICE is now getting the news vans there to show them doing mass arrests on gang members. And the governor of Chicago, Mr. Pritzker, has already put a big tweet out saying, urging Trump to stop sending the military to invade and disrupt American cities. And this is the response of, look, this is them and what they're doing in these American cities. They're not invading, they're removing the invaders, in fact. The exact opposite of what you claimed is the actual reality, but a Democrat and reality are never easily connected. So I'm going to play that video today because it looks fucking hilarious from what I can see. And do my dog shit commentary like normal. But without further ado, here we go.
From Blackhawks onto the rooftop in order to help.
Yeah, bro, that's crazy. Imagine you're in an apartment complex, you hear a lot of noise outside, you look out the fucking window and you see a dude with a fucking pistol. Give this guy a fucking AR. Why the fuck does he have a pistol? This is America. I know we have enough goddamn guns to give this man an actual rifle. What the fuck?
Secured that perimeter. Now, they were searching for suspected members of the violent Venezuelan gang Trinidad Aragua. Of course, TDA has been designated as a terrorist organization under the Trump.
Despite what the Democrats say, they are a terrorist organization. They should be treated as such. They should be. Okay, that guy's got an AR at least. That's good. That's good.
Administration. Now,
what's that mag size? Is this like a 10-round mag? Is that like Chicago compliant or some shit? Get that bitch and get him a P mag. 60 bullets in that bitch. Test him.
Was the biggest show of force that we've ever seen on the ground here. We had agencies, FBI.
Bro, that just looks like honestly a ghetto apartment, like a Section 6 housing. Obviously you can't tell there's criminal aliens versus non-criminal aliens in an apartment complex, but this just looks like a normal fucking building.
Border Patrol, ICE, and ATF all involved here, and they were all looking for targets in that same exact building. It was a 5-story building. It was a tall task for them.
Holy shit.
Anything could have gone wrong, but luckily the operations went pretty smoothly.
I wonder if they knew who they were going for beforehand, or if they had like a good intel that there's just a Trinidad Aragua gang operating out of here. It's like the Colorado apartment complex. The Democrats said there's nothing here, there's no illegals here, and then on the ground journalists went there and talked to people, and they're like, oh yeah, there's fucking gang members here, and they'll threaten to kill us if we don't pay them money. And then there's fucking ring footage of them breaking down some dude's door, all holding a bunch of fucking AKs, but there's no gang members at the apartment complex. There's no gang members in Aurora, Colorado, guys. That's blatant fucking disconnect from reality again and again and again. And so when I see videos like this, you know, I'm doing my part to show that the Democrats and the news are fucking lying.
Preliminary reports show that about 30 illegal immigrants were arrested in this operation, some of them suspected Trinidad Aragua. Now, we talked with Chief Gregory Bovino, who's running the operations on the ground for many of these ops in Chicago, and he had some words for people that are pushing back against his operations. Take a listen.
I'm sure they were calling them retarded because removing gang members from this country should always be done as immediately as humanly possible. What the fuck?
How about you live in the apartment next door to Trinidad Aragua members that are trafficking and prostitution, guns, drugs, and taking advantage of American citizens in a violent way? Why don't you live next to them?
No, he's telling the Democrats, leave your high horse and your gated mansions with your armed guards and your 24/7 security forces and go live in an actual apartment complex that average Americans are going to have to live in. Because that's the truth of the situation. No one wants to live next to it. And the people that are virtue signaling that it isn't happening are bold-faced lying because they don't actually have to live with the consequences of their dog shit policies. Every single day I've been saying this. Democrats are never the consequences of their dog shit policies. It's the average American, and they aren't the average American.
And then see how much of a Gestapo or a Nazi we are.
Yeah, fair enough. Calling people that are removing illegal gang members from your country Gestapos and equating them to modern day Nazis is fucking wild. It's insightful rhetoric. It's done to dehumanize the officers so they can, and also legitimize political violence against them. It's dehumanization and it's legitimization of political violence against them. It's a two-factor formula here. It needs to end. These are federal agents. They are American citizens trying to remove illegals from the country. They're here removing illegals that have committed violent crimes, that are getting arrested and released in these fucking sanctuary cities like fucking catch and release fish, and they're here to protect the American people. ICE. Immigrations, customs, and enforcement. They control the border. They're the ones that are always checking to make sure the cartel isn't smuggling 20 kilograms of fentanyl up on a fucking 18-wheeler. They're the ones stopping terrorists from human smuggling people into this country that are going to commit terroristic acts. They protect America. This is a dehumanization front that I never thought I'd be alive to see, but holy fuck, it doesn't end until the Democrats apparently decide, you know what? Maybe we're going to have to start dealing with our consequences. This is why the gang members are fearful right now, which I'm going to play another clip in a second. But the CNN, there was multiple gang members that were interviewed during the election, and they were saying they want Kamala to win because they want the open borders so they can continue making money and selling drugs and selling prostitutes and killing people. That's what they wanted. Because Biden basically disarmed most of the federal government branches and wasn't letting them work at all. Yeah, you have a job at ICE. You're not allowed to do anything. Yeah, you can't deport that guy. Yeah, we're not. We're the federal government, and we're going to do everything humanly possible to make sure you can't do your job. And that's what they did. They didn't care. They didn't need new legislation to fix the borders. They needed new management. That management was Republicans. I'm not saying Republicans are always going to be right in the future, but right now, they're way better than fucking Democrats. That's for damn sure. I'm going to play that clip of the cartel dude. Here's CNN sitting down with some cartel leader and asking him what he thinks about the border since Trump has been in office.
I think what President Trump has been doing has been making your job tougher.
Do you think the president that's enforcing the border and deporting illegals and actually putting criminals in jail is going to make a criminal's job tougher? Breaking groundwork from CNN. We know the answer, and I'll give him credit. Interviewing a cartel leader, which this guy's apparently leader of some cartel, that is better journalism than the normal ilk that they cut themselves from, the normal cloth that they derive from. But still, it's a dumb question because the answer is fucking yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
but it's becoming more difficult, you think?
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Why? What's the fucking rocket science here? Holy shit! If you drop an apple from a tree, it'll hit the ground. Like fucking Noon over here discovering gravity. A cartel doesn't like the president that wants to put criminals in jail and deport his gang members. Holy fuck! Who could have guessed? Jumping back to that earlier tweet, this is what the governor of Chicago was actually saying, and this is what the Trump administration responded with the raid that they were doing. Trump actually went and confronted all the top military members and basically said, we're going to return to the standards of standardized tests. You will be serving and you will be physically fit to serve. This is a war zone. This isn't DEI. So all the women and all the men got to conform to the same shit. That's it. That's common sense, 100% logical. You shouldn't have people in the military that can't pass fitness exams. We don't need gender diversity. Women can be in the military. They just don't need to be in an active combat role. There's plenty of other positions. Plenty of other positions they can be in. 100% if they want to serve their country, totally fine. If they want to be front lines, active duty, pass the same physical men, you have no objection from me whatsoever, as long as you're not mentally ill as well. Different story. But the governor of Chicago decided to pipe up like the fucking retard that he is. Stop using military troops to invade and disrupt American cities. Stop calling your political opponents enemies. Well, I mean, the political opponents are supporting gang members. This is like enemies of the American people. They're supporting criminals being, they're protesting criminals being deported. That sounds pretty enemy. That sounds like an enemy to the American people. Stop attacking the First Amendment, the freedom of speech. I mean, I'll give him that. Trump said some dog shit about after Charlie died that maybe they're going to pass some hate speech laws, and Pam Bondi was on board, but that nothing's happened yet. Nothing's happened yet, and I've been very vocal that I don't want that to happen. And our troops and our nation deserve better than you acting as a petty tyrant. A petty tyrant is when you're enforcing the laws given to you by Congress, using all the powers given to you by Congress. That's pretty tyrannical. Yeah, that's pretty tyrannical. In fact, yeah, deporting illegal immigrants that are committing crimes. Yeah, that's pretty tyrannical. Yeah. Democrats are a party that have devolved completely into virtue signaling. That's all they really do now is virtue signal. Their policies have failed repeatedly time after time with crime. The border got worse. Trump is showing these big cities now that crime is completely manageable, but the dog shit people that have been elected are the reason it's as bad as it is. And that's why you're going to see so many more Democrats coming out against Trump as harder than they ever can, because they are losing in the polls. And that's the reality of the fact. Right now, the government is shut down, and it is due to a minority of Democrats that have completely gone against the bill. They wanted to return, now, as far as I understand, they wanted to bring back Medicaid programs for illegal immigrants that Trump removed in the big, beautiful bill. They, in fact, wanted to pass the bill or force Trump to concede to allow illegal immigrants to hop back on some forms of Medicaid and Medicare. It's very specific with the verbiage. Some of the states that are being funded by the federal government, like California, allow illegal immigrants to enroll. They don't ask they don't ask immigration status. That's what was being used and abused in the past. The big, beautiful bill that Trump passed specifically made to where that's no longer allowed despite what the state says, and they will stop funding entirely if the state is doing that. That's what Democrats basically are trying to force Trump to allow back on, to allow the people, the illegals that are in these cities, to enroll into certain forms of federal Medicare or Medicaid. There's a very specific one here. I might be mincing my words here. I know what Democrats are saying, that Trump's shutting down the government and that they don't want the illegals back on. But the bill that they brought, that they wanted added, specifically was to revoke the big beautiful bill that they want. They want a very specific verbiage removed from the current bill to allow, that would have completely allowed the illegals to re-enroll and to get back on the programs, no questions asked. That is why the government's currently shut down, because a minority of Democrats have decided to hold the government hostage. The Republicans hold the Republicans hold majority in the Senate and the House. They have the majority. The issue is the Senate requires it to be a 60-40 vote, not a 51-49. And they need 5 more Democrats to pull their head out of their ass and realize they need to serve the American people, not the illegals that have come here and become a part of the system in every way that they want. Kind of crazy to me, but, you know, it's a normal day in paradise. Yeah, if you guys like this video, feel free to like it, comment down below, or subscribe. I think removing illegals and criminals from this country should be highly done. If you're an illegal here and you're a criminal, yeah, get the fuck out. If you're illegal here and you're not doing much, maybe you have room to talk. Who knows? At this point, you can't remove anyone from the country without Democrats throwing a fucking hissy fit. So, pretty stupid, pretty stupid. Yeah, I thought that raid in Chicago was pretty funny to see that they're like actually utilizing ICE and the federal agencies to crack down on these gang members, and Democrats, of course, are completely coming out against it because they're too stupid to realize what they're protesting against. And they hope that the American people, are too stupid to realize it as well, because they have the media apparatus on their side and they're going to lie for them every step of the way. That's why I like Twitter. Community notes is a fucking godsend. Every single time a Democrat says something stupid, boom, here's a community note. Love it. Don't get me wrong. Trump and Elon Musk have also been community noted in the past, but it's like a broken clock's right twice a day. Occasionally they say something stupid. I just want America to turn to peace, and I want a better future for the American people, and I don't see the Democrats having that goal in mind at all. But yeah, thank you guys very much for tuning in. If you like the video, feel free to like it, comment down below, or subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Until then, later.